So today, actually, not just the internship program, we can also roll out a new program for CCE this year. It's going to be called Eagle Wing 2022. It's a job interview program to help whether you're a young professional or college student, or if you just want to improve your job interview skills. So we have a mentor that is leading this effort, and his name is Woojin Kim. He is actually has started up quite a bit of a number of companies, and he has started more than 3 times a direct to customers company as an entrepreneur. And he has a lot of experience in doing the branding as well as top 10 Amazon seller. And actually, wow, that's quite impressive that he has 9 figures sold on Amazon. So he has a lot of experience from entrepreneurship side as well as interview side. So I'm gonna invite him to talk about our interview program. So Woojin, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. Name is Woojin. I'm going to be talking about the job interview training program. This is a new program that's being launched by CCE. And if you can go to the next slide. This program is really created to create an environment to help people with the job interview process. So the problem we're trying to help solve is that a lot of people are afraid of job interviews. And then interviews can be a very nerve-wracking experience. So this, next slide, please. So the solution for this program is that we want to help you improve your interview skills where the interview stakes aren't so high. So we'll be creating an environment where you can practice in different pressure levels. Number 2 is that you're going to be working with industry professionals so that you can get insider's perspective and get real hands-on training. And number 3 is that we want you to join this CCE community so you can be a part of our community where your gifts can live among different kinds of people. We're also working ways where we can give back. Next slide, please. So what we need to know about interview is that interview is just more than a Q&A session. Interview is more like a conversation where the company is willing to get to connect with you. They want to get to know you. And sometimes, a lot of times we think it's qualifications or experience, but a lot of times, if they like you, sometimes it's as simple as if they like you, they will hire you. And we also want to let you know that companies are also they're also as nervous as you are at times. We tend to, if we fall in love with someone or if we like someone, we end up hiring the person. So we'll like to share you some insider insights on what the interview process might look like. And thirdly, it's also a chance for you to understand if that's an environment that you want to work with as well. So you'll have a chance where you can ask questions about how is their typical week like, and what is the environment like, culture like. So you also want to make sure that that is a place that you want to work at. And next is thinking about typically during the interview process, there's a series of questions such as behavioral questions, conflict questions, how you prioritize in projects, priority questions, crisis questions. And for all of these questions, it's really important for us to think about why are these companies asking these questions and what are the intentions behind these questions and what do they want to know. So during this program, we'll be diving in deep and dissecting each part of the questions to understand the reasons behind these questions. Thirdly, it's really important that during the interview process, companies really want to know how you handle conflict. So the interview environment itself is a very high pressure situation. It is also a mock conflict situation where we may feel lack of confidence, but it's important that we practice as many times possible so that we can show confidence in how we handle conflict. So with this conflict situation, what the companies get to learn about you is that we want to know how you handle problem solving. A lot of times, companies tend to separate who's going to be the followers of the hires, and who's going to be the leaders or the problem solvers with these answers that you are given. So it's really important that we leave an impression of confidence. We leave an impression that you are a problem solver. Next slide, please. Yeah. So these are some of the topics that we're going to be covering regarding what companies are looking for and who gets selected. So number one is that it's really up to your ability to communicate. During the interview process, we will be looking at if you have the ability to communicate your thoughts, your stories, your experiences, and how you handle emotions and situations. And during a work environment, it's all about communication and relationship. So it's important that we practice how you communicate and how you deliver your thoughts to others. Next is that they want to know if you can do the job, if you have what it takes to do the job. So we want to know if you can articulate how you are a fit for the company, like culture fit, and if you understand what it takes to do the job, and if you can communicate that as well. But you might ask the question, what if I don't have the experience? Like, what if I don't have the qualifications? But we want to tell you that if you got the interview, there's a reason why they wanted to meet with you. So it's not really about a lot of times it's not just about qualifications and experience. The main problem that as a company perspective is that you're not demonstrating your value during the interview. So that goes back to being able to communicate who you are, how you problem solve, and how you articulate your thoughts. And another thing that companies are looking for is if you're a really good fit for the company, in culture. So being who you are, as you are, is really important, and you have to show comfort. One second. Sorry. So it's really important that you show comfort during the interview. And another important thing is that how you receive feedback is really important for the company. So we want to help you practice how you handle receiving feedback during the interviews. Next slide, please. So these are some of the questions that we're going to be diving in deep during the job interview training programs. So these are common questions that you may have already known, but we're going to be diving in deep, dissecting the intention behind these questions and how to best answer these questions in the way that will show you confidence and that show that you are a problem solver. So yeah, these are some of the common questions that we're going to be diving and dissecting one at a time. Next slide, please. So the CCE job interview program is going to be divided into 3 parts. One is going to be the group session, and then there is the peer-to-peer session and the mock interview session. So the group session is more kind of like a webinar format like this. It's a more low-pressure environment. It's going to be about 60 minutes. And during the job group session, we're going to be diving in deep into the questions that we showed earlier, but we're also going to create a mock interview environment where we're going to take volunteers and we're going to learn how other people are going to be responding to these interview questions. And then we're going to carry on into grouping you with a peer-to-peer session. We're going to be helping you through finding the peers to practice these sessions. So it's another low pressure interview environment. We want you to practice getting really, really comfortable so that you can prepare yourself for the mock interview session. The mock interview session are going to be mentors from the CCE group. We want to, during the mock interview session, we're going to also include your resume review. So we're going to be giving you feedback about your resume during the interview. We're going to be doing the mock interview and give you feedback as well. So these are going to be insiders, insights in their experience about how they did the interview as well, and also really guide you in the details of how to best prepare for the interview. To get into the mock interview session, we need your commitment in the group session, and we want you to have at least 2 sessions of peer-to-peer sessions. So with all these programs, we're going to give you the details in the Slack channel that we have created. So to apply for this program, there's the URL here and also on the group chat. I'll be sending you a link. Or it's a Google form, and if you give us your information, we'll be giving you an invite to the Slack group, where we're going to give you more details about the program. So this program is completely free, and the commitment is that you join these sessions. It's going to be a total of 3 hours. This is going to be a quarterly program, 4 times a year, and it will be consisted of group, peer, and mock interviews. And more details about this program is going to be provided to you in the Slack group community. And that is it. Yeah. So these are some of the mentors that will be helping you with the interviews. And these are 3 examples of our awesome CCE mentor groups. So some of the last tips before we close is that confidence is key. Sometimes when we feel like we don't have all the experience that we need, like I shared earlier, it's really demonstrating who you are and how good you can be in a problem-solving environment that really gets you the job as well. So number 1 is we're going to help you practice taking fear out of the equation and really be so that you can be who you truly are. And secondly, we want you to constantly be in this practice environment so you can prepare to be your best self. And thirdly, we want you to practice in a real interview environment in a very safe place. And number 4 is that everything happens for a reason. And even if you don't get the job, or even if that's not the position, even if you get in a situation where you don't want to be, there's always ways to make a setback into a comeback. And we want the CCE group to be a place for you to make that happen. So we want to be able to guide you through these journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Woojin. I totally agree with you that interview is not just a one-on-one conversation, but actually depending on the person you're talking to, there may be a different pressure level, and as well as it's important to learn about how to present yourself and package yourself during the interview. So highly encourage anyone who needs this type of service to apply for this internship interview program.